Such is the lack of personal protective clothing for medics in Britain, private businesses are now supplying emergency cover. Bella Goncharovitz is a dressmaker. With the help of 15 colleagues, she'll deliver 1,000 gowns from her apartment this week to protect staff against COVID-19 at 2 London hospitals.
The mass production is less available now, and the government is less able to put their hands on this bulk amount. And we have the ability to nimbly replenish stock at hospitals. So on Thursday evening, I had a call from Royal Brompton saying, would you be able to send 100 tomorrow? That was going to the next day.
She's trying to raise $60,000 to buy more fabric in bulk. Each gown can then be produced for $18 each. After 6 weeks of lockdown in Britain, there are calls for an investigation into the lack of widespread testing against coronavirus and the lack of PPE clothing to protect those treating patients.
We also need to know why manufacturers and suppliers here in the UK have not had a response when they've tried to contact the NHS.
An open letter with suppliers across Britain has been initiated by Lucy Wathen, calling on the UK government to improve their efforts. More than 850,000 people have so far signed her petition.
So I've got people saying, we've got this equipment, and I've got people on the other side saying, we desperately need this equipment and we're scared for our lives. And I don't know why there can't be somebody who can just match them up quicker or at all. So it just seems very illogical to me.
Last month, the British Medical Association warned that healthy staff are putting their lives at risk without enough PPE as they treat COVID-19 patients. In a survey of 16,000 doctors, around 80% told the BMA they didn't feel fully protected at work. 48% said they'd paid for their own protective clothing.
Undoubtedly, this government, like all governments, will have made mistakes, but it will be impossible to determine exactly which were the areas of gravest concern until sometime in the future.
The UK government says it sourced over 1 billion pieces of protective clothing. Ministers regularly defend themselves, blaming a global shortage, as so many health authorities are all buying emergency medical supplies all at the same time. More than 100 health workers have died in the UK so far during the pandemic.
It's great to be able to help in this way, especially that each gown that I provide might be protecting a doctor from potentially, a fatal infection.
Tailors and designers stitching gowns to save lives. Iolo ap Dafydd, TRT World, London.